Hello Magic fans, I'm Beef and welcome back to another standard gameplay video, and today we are returning to Monument to Endurance. This is the third deck we have played with Monument. So end of a trilogy, the last one in the saga, we played a creature based discard deck where creatures grew when we discard cards, and then we played a vehicle discard deck. The idea is we cycle lots of vehicles to get them into our graveyard before we animate them all with push limit, and obviously Monument to Endurance triggers whenever we cycle our cards, so it let us create treasures mainly to get up to 7 mana to play push the limit. And now we are playing a Spellslinger style Monument deck, and obviously we're still playing Monument, probably one of the most versatile cards in Aetherdrift, which is weird because it only does one thing. When you discard something, you get a lot of value, but the fact it enables so many kind of decks. And our Spellslinger deck is also revolving around Artist Talent. Artist Talent's from one of the talents from back in Bloomborough, and probably one of the lesser played talents. Obviously Storm Chaser's talent, Innkeeper's talent, Bandit's talent, even Hunter's talent get played a bit more, and Caretaker's talent as well, it played a huge amount. But Artist Talent is rare, so it's pretty powerful, but it's a 2 mana, and at its base level it says whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may discard a card. If you draw a card, and obviously discard what we want to do. And as you'll see in our deck, we don't have any creature spells, everything is non-creature. And then we can pay 3 to level it up, reducing the cost of all non-creature spells we cast by 1. And then you can level it up to level 3 for 3 as well. But it says if a source you control will do non-combat damage to an opponent or permanent opponent controls, it deals that much damage plus 2 instead. Monument to Endurance causes our opponent to lose life. That does not count as damage, so it doesn't increase the amount of life they lose. So just be aware. I did do it in one of the games you'll see in the videos, but it didn't cause us to make a difference anyway. So they're the main 2 cards, and rounding out, we just have a lot of non-creature cards. And we've seen some of these before in our discard decks. Broadside Barrage deals 5 to type creature or planeswalker, draw a card, discard a card. It's an instant as well, so it's great to trigger Monument to Endurance on our opponent's turn. Ill-Timed Explosion is our sweeper of choice. Draw 2 cards, then you may discard 2 cards. When you do, Ill-Timed Explosion deals X damage to each creature, where X is the greatest mana value among cards discarded this way. And everything else is new to the deck. So we have 4 ops, scry 1, draw a card. 4 sleight of hand, look at the top 2 cards of a library, put 1 into a hand, 1 bottom of a library. So 1 is great card selection, and 2, obviously with Artist Talent down, it does cause us to draw and discard. 4, 3 steps ahead, to counter spells, and then if we have enough mana, it's great to be able to copy Monument to Endurance, and then we can draw 2 and discard against, again, triggering Monument. 4 Burst Lightning. You could go with something like Into the Floodmoor instead, but I think being able to damage your opponent directly can be useful if you need to get that last 2 points of damage. And obviously we can kick it for an extra 4 to deal 4. And again, it's an instant, so we can trigger Monument or on our opponent's turn. And then Roaring Furnace. I don't think we've played on the channel. We've not played a huge amount of rooms. 2 mana. When we unlock it, the room deals damage equal to a number of cards in our hand to target creature and opponent controls. And then 5 mana Steaming Sauna, which is actually really, really powerful in this deck. You have no maximum hand size. At the beginning of your end step, draw a card. And that draw a card at the beginning of your end step is really powerful because Artist Talent is discard then draw. It's not like Broadside Barrage, which is draw then discard. So when the game goes long and you just need to trigger a discard to trigger Monument to get kill our opponent for the last few points of life, having an extra card in your hand is critical for Artist Talent, and Steaming Sauna allows you to get that. And so if you have a Burst Lightning in hand and nothing else, you draw with Steaming Sauna, and then you can Burst Lightning, discard whatever you've drawn, triggering the Monument. Mana base, Island, Mountains, The Verge, Shivan Reef, and Thunder in Falls. We are a control deck, so we don't really mind playing some our lands first couple of turns, and for some reason I seem to draw all of them. And yeah, Shivan Reef can be a bit dangerous with the damage we take, but it's worth it for the mana, fixing our mana. So this deck is bonkers. I'll do a bit of a wrap up, but I really, really like this deck. It is just completely different, while still discarding cards obviously, to the creature based one and the vehicle based one. So this is really, really fun. Hope you'll enjoy it too. If you do, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the gameplay. Well, turn 1 sleight of hand. Pick a monument. If I have Deep Cavern Bat. Oh, just beans. Next turn we can counter something or copy our monument or even draw and discard. Well, I think we just hold up 3 steps ahead. Do they have another one? Because we have more counter spells. They're just ramping more. Well, let's hold up our counterspell again. Seeing as we have 2 more 3 steps ahead, I think we'll just, yeah, hold for now. Now we can copy our monument and draw 2 and discard. Or counter and copy. They have another Tear Asunder. Counter and copy. They do get a draw too. But I think we have 8. Yeah, so we can play out Steaming Sauna. Blue, blue. Why? Why did it tap like that? That was... That... Sometimes the auto tapper is ridiculous. If I have another breach, I will really not be happy. I think we just broadside barrage that. we'll just draw 2. Let's try this again. We really need an artist talent. And I think we ill-timed explosion. To draw more. There we go, that's what we wanted to see. Well, that's probably a bit of an issue. They only have one. Well, they do have mana for Tear Asunder. Get Lost. That's actually pretty good for us. Right. Let's ill-timed explosion. It still counts as discarding a card. No, we don't need to do that. Three, 4, 5. We actually can do this. They've given us enough things to sacrifice. In fact, it doesn't matter. We just needed to cast it. Why did that do... Oh, loss of life doesn't count as damage. That's why. That leveling it up was pointless. But we still got there in the end. Well, we have a lot of land. I think we just Savale turn 1. Might Savale turn 2 as well. Don't think we need to Savale turn 3. Wow. Okay, this is quite bonkers. At least we have plenty of things to discard. Mana value 4 or 5 artifact. Nexus of Becoming? That's 6. Oh, Might Zone and Weak Zone. Well, there's the artist talent as well. Well, let's artist talent. We can't do anything else at the moment, but next turn we can level it up. Ooh, 3 steps ahead. A good thing to keep up as well. Well, let's just level this up. And then we can... Wow, that's an interesting... That is an interesting combo they've got. We can counter the Gear Hulk, which we will. Will we? It's 5. Yeah, we do need to. Let's draw a card for now. Another monument's good. This does give them haste, which is a problem. Let's just start calling them to lose life. And essentially... depending on what they get, probably another Gear Hulk. Oh no. Ariet's Tempting Apple. I imagine they just draw 2. Get rid of a land. Let's discard the explosion. Let's draw a card. Draw a card. Discard an island. Create a treasure. Create a treasure. And we should have lethal. Let's copy our monument. I'm going to put a stop on their upkeep. Let's discard a land. You lose 3, you lose 3. We burst lightning them on their upkeep, and we do it again. Well, we have a lot of card selection. If we can get up to Steaming Sauna, that's always pretty good. Hello, Monument. Hopefully they don't have Duke Cavern back, but obviously we can get it back. Just a fear of missing out, so probably Delirium deck, and there is the Artist Talent. Oh, Valgavoth. Means we are on a clock. Because I imagine they have Zombify.
No more distractions. Let's make this quick. I'm tired of your
let's go Barrage. Oh, and Natalie as well. Let's get rid of the Shivan Reef. We just have to burn them out as much as possible. And I would like a 3 steps ahead.
We all have things we'd rather.
Yeah, let's do this. Pitch the other Roaring Furnace. I probably don't need all of those. I'll keep that. It's a good way of triggering Artist Talent on our opponent's turn. No Zombify mana yet.
Don't overthink things.
Well, we need to...
Now you've got my attention.
And let's unlock... We basically need a spell. That is not what we wanted to see. Yeah, now we are screwed. If they ticked up again... Yeah, that was... It's still possible we can win. Because they're at 11. Not with that, though. Decline. I think we may have just done it. Whew. They didn't get 3 steps ahead from us. But it's may have caused our opponent to... No, there we go. Lose, lose, lose. There we are. Whew! Managed to survive getting hit by an Algovoth. Well, 2 monuments. Now we just need some ways to discard cards. Don't need another land. But we draw it anyway. Let's opt at the end of their turn. Oh, it's a poison deck. We may just be a bit slow. And obviously they will have bring the end in. I think we've got to keep that to kill the Skull Dweller. I think... Well, we've got no way to discard yet, so... Let's try and keep our poison down as much as possible. What happens when you draw just a smidge too much land? I think they were hunting for a land. Next turn we may just open up Steaming Sauna. Although actually, I'm just going to keep up 3 steps ahead, I think. We don't want you drawing cards. They're not going to have many creatures. Would love an artist talent. We're up to 4, and they hit their 3rd land. Well, we just hold up 3 steps ahead. I am fine with a Skull Dweller for now. Is there a stick? There is. They have Bring the End in. Let's collect a treasure. That way we can still 3 steps ahead. I'm okay with that. I don't think I did have Bring the End in then. I think it was just experimental augury. And that should be all she wrote. Yeah, they were very slow for a poison deck. Well, hopefully we draw into some nonce of our lands. I'm fine with the percussionist. Wouldn't mind them playing yeah, I'll take 2. And yeah, we can hold up Burst Lightning. Not seen Phoenix Chick in a head of a time. Well, let's get down the furnace. Take out the Phoenix Chick. Well, in this case, let's wipe the board and we'll discard a Burst Lightning and a Barrage. Don't need another one of those. There is a monument. And there is a Talon. They have the monstrous rage. Oh, turn inside out. We could bizarrely be in trouble here. Let's, I think, just get killing. If that's a cacophony scamp, I think we're in trouble. Oh, it was an Everheart Challenger. We have 7. Well, there's a second land. I wanted to copy the monument, but... My worry is we are going to decline this, because my worry is if they have something like Monstrous Rage. If they have a shocker, honestly, and we are obviously just dead. I don't quite get what the point of that was. Yeah. If we had another card in hand, we could discard it to the Artist Talent. I think we would have won that, but it kind of shows how bonkers mono red can be that they did that with only one land for most of the game. Hello, Magic fans, and welcome back to the wrap up. So as I said in the deck, this deck is, I think it's crazy. I don't know if it. I think it probably is the best one out of the three monument decks we played. The creature based one, the vehicle discard one, and this one. Obviously the vehicle discard one is technically the most explosive. It is designed around a one hit kill, getting everything in, as much as you can into your graveyard, pushing to the limit, and then swinging in. And the creature based one has all the inherent issues that creature based decks too do, especially with the amount of removal in standard at the moment. I looked a few weeks ago. There are over 100 cards just with the word like destroy target creature on it, and that's just destroy. That's not sweepers, exile, bounce, damage based spells like burst lightning. So there is obviously a huge amount of removal, and having a deck that doesn't have any creatures has a bit of advantage. It does suck against this town, ain't big enough, but any deck that uses permanents, which is a lot of decks, sucks against this town. And it can be, it's not slow, but you know, if you get to the stage where turn 3 we play out a monument and we only have a monument and they just bounce it and bounce their Hopeless Nightmare, it's annoying because discard is actually, we're really good against discard because we want to discard cards. That's probably the only deck it's weak against, and because it is a control deck, you can just go, right, I'll just hold up 3 steps ahead, and if they tap out I can counter their spell and then copy a monument or draw 2, discard, trigger a monument, and it seems to go from 0 to 60, pun intended, for Aetherdrift very, very quickly, because in the early game you might want to go, well, we'll draw a couple of cards and create treasure tokens, or maybe, you know, ping for free once, but then it gets to a stage where you're like, right, I'll cast a spell in my turn, pinging for 6, because we've got 2 of these or 3 of these, pinging for 9, and then in our opponent's turn we'll opt or burst lightning or broadside barrage and go, great, and then hit for another 6 or 9, and all of a sudden they're dead, and it gets to your turn and you go, well, I'll just play one more non-creature, you know. And because of burst lightning can go phase, and opt, obviously it's not a target damage spell, and 3 steps ahead, even if we're up against non-creature decks, we're not reliant on Broadside Barrage to get that extra discard trigger as well, because quite often we just ill-timed Explosion against an empty board, which really works. So I think it's the most powerful of the 3 Monument decks I've played. It's really, really fun. It is really, really enjoyable, and you could just kill your opponent in like 2 turns from out of nowhere, and it is insane. And I think you all have seen in a couple of the gameplays, we managed to beat Valgavoth once. They didn't get a chance to attack, but once we managed to beat getting hit by Valgavoth, which is rare when you're facing a Valgavoth. So really, really powerful, really, really fun. I had a great time playing this. I had a great time playing all the Monument decks, and with Tarkir, Dragonstorm coming, I hope there is, we can look at this archetype again and see if there's any new discard cards in Tarkir. That'd be really fun building on this, because I think it's probably my favourite of all the archetypes I've played in Aetherdrift. But anyway, enough of me rambling. Hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you all in my next video.